Hey everybody, I hope there's people out there. I'm alive and I'm using my webcam on Facebook. Let me get this video out of my face because then I'm just going to be staring at myself this whole time, and that's not always good. Not that I don't like myself or how I look, but then I start paying too close attention. Look, let's get the hair here, get this going, and this is awesome. I'm so excited. It was actually, I was just clicking in the wrong area. So, hi Sandra, how are you? If you're showing up, just put down in the comments where you're located at so when people pop in, they can see. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the law of creation, which is the first of 3 laws in law of manifestation. Law of creation, law of attraction, and law of allowing. So we're going to give a few minutes here while people are popping in. I was shocked to be on at 8 o'clock this time. See, I talked on the law of allowing last time, which means you have to allow things to be as they are. And sure enough, that's when all technical difficulties happened. I can blame the Mercury retrograde if I want to, but I'm pretty certain it's because I was teaching and I had to learn. Jim, how are you, buddy? Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you since high school. You didn't have a mustache back then. How are you? Hello. So I'm going to start getting started here. How's that sound? Start getting started. So saying once again that we're going to teach about intention lists for 2018. I just finished creating the video for tomorrow night, which is actually going to help you create the list. And I have to tell you, law of manifestation energizes me, and getting started and doing the creation is the beginning of an adventure and a journey, and I am thrilled with it. So put down on the comment list that you can hear me first. Send a wow or a heart or something so I know that you can hear me. Tom Miller, my dad, hey, he's 69 already. Yeah. See if he can last the whole hour. So, alrighty. So we're, oh, good. You can hear me. Awesome. Put down in the comments where you're located at so we can see where we're at. Last year we had my friend from the Bahamas. I don't know if it's the Bahamas. It's St. Martin who was there. Hey, Jim. Yeah. Shopping. Oh, it's my favorite sport. Forget all the kicking balls and putting them in holes. Susan, hey, I must have done this outside the group, but that's okay. So we're talking about creating your intention list. So let me jump in because it's a full hour and I want to make sure I get the meat. So what's the purpose of intention? They're decisions, desires that we may create growth, increase, improvements, and experiences, hopefully joyful experiences in 2018. That's basically our soul's purpose, our spirit's purpose, I should say. Our soul's purpose and our mind's purpose is survival. Our spirit, which connects us to our greater power, whether it's, you call it God, universe, infinite possibilities, infinite source. The whole purpose is growth, increase, improvement, and experience, right? So this time with setting intentions is decision-making time. You have to decide how big of decisions you want to make for intentions and how small. And you want to create the list and have them all together. And you want a little bit of each because the smaller ones may show up faster than the bigger ones. The bigger ones may have obstacles in the way. And so by big, it's all subjective. So for someone, big would be that's making, let's say, income. If you're making $26,000 a year, maybe big to you is making $35,000, $45,000, $50,000 a year. Maybe for someone who's making $60,000 a year, $250,000 a year. It's all subjective. There's no right or wrong. But the reason we're not in these places is we haven't set intentions and we have obstacles to shift out of our way. So we're going to start working on getting them out in the law of attraction and the law of allowing. But tonight we got to get the bus going, and we're telling you how that gets started. What I recommend if you're new at it is maybe 1 or 2 big items And again, big is subjective. What is big for you? Something out of your comfort zone. And 3 or 4 small intentions. I have 6 intentions that I've been currently focused on. But you can start with only 1 if you prefer. It's all up to you. But it's getting started, right? So a lot of times we put a blank sheet of paper in front of us and we say, I'm going to make 2018 rockin'. That's my new phrase. We're going to make it rockin'. How do I start? How am I going to make it rockin'? That is such a big topic, and a blank sheet of paper can be the scariest thing in the world, right? So I created a list of the different areas, and I'll post them when I'm done in the post area. And if I did this in my Facebook, personal Facebook versus the group, that's fine. Susan, put where you're from down there in the comments so everybody knows how cold you are up there. So anyway, so I'll put in there the list of the various areas, but these are areas you really want to think about. That you want growth, increase, improvement, have new experiences, change an experience that you're currently having to something better or more joyful. It's basically, like I said, the purpose of our spirits. So the first one I wrote down is kind of an obvious one, and that's finances. So when you're looking at finances, a lot of people will say debt-free. And then other people will go, no, don't say debt-free. It's got the word debt in it. I don't really care that it has the word debt in it. The word debt in and of itself is neither negative or positive, because you will learn that wealthy people use good debt as an investment to increase their income, tax write-offs, whatever. If you're believing for a house, unless you're paying cash outright, a mortgage is a debt. So how can you believe for a house and believe for being debt-free? You now have conflict. So really understand what it is you want, and debt-free is never it. In the video that you're going to have for tomorrow night, I talk about, what it is that finances mean to you, and that you need to break it down very specific. Do you want to increase your income? Do you want to start or increase savings? I'm going to be 46 soon. I'm thinking I need a retirement plan, right? So that's on my list. And specific goals for purchasing items, going on trips. How much is it? If you want to increase your income and you're an employee, are you looking to have a monthly increase, your hourly increase, or annual increase? How much? By how much? Not even a percentage, just give a specific number, or better, this number or better. And if you own a business, how much income do you want to bring in through that business? What kind of clients do you want? A type of size of clients, right? So the next one is a big topic. It's love. Do you want to improve an existing relationship? Do you want to love yourself? A lot of people don't even think about that. There's so many people walking around that will be willing to love others, but they won't take time to love themselves. So loving yourself should definitely be something for manifesting. And creating and having a new relationship. For some of us, that's scary. So we got to shift out the fear if we want the love. But we can still have love and new relationship as an intention, and then work on shifting out that fear to bring it into something that is a magnet that attracts that relationship. Makes sense? Hi, Carmen. Hi, Ashley. Alicia. Sorry, I looked at the wrong name there. So do you want to have for family and friends? Do you want to have new family and friends? Well, not new family. Well, new baby. That's new family, right? Do you want to reconnect with old friends, with family that maybe you haven't talked to in a while? Strengthen existing relationships with families. We just went through Thanksgiving. Some of those relationships might want to get stronger. Do you want to create consistent communication? So if you've been like me where you've been a hermit, do you want to start creating that circle of friends to get your butt out of the house, right? House and home. Do you want to get a new one? Do you want to get a bigger one? Do you want one by the ocean? Do you want a second one? Do you want an investment one? Do you want to rent? Do you want a mortgage? Do you want to pay in full? What do you want? you can add things like cars and boats and motorcycles. Since my dad was on here, so we'll add in motorcycles. Hi, Suzanne. You can add those in. I know I put this in my personal one. I hope the Facebook manifesting group can catch up with me. But do you want to add those? You would put them on a miscellaneous list, and you can, sky's the limit. God says in the Bible he wants to give you the desires of your heart. What are those desires? And speaking of it, spiritually, what would you like to manifest in 2018 spiritually? You want to feed your spirit? You want religious growth within your belief system? Do you want to go into meditation and really connect with your own inner being? Do you want to start a bigger prayer life and journaling life? And why? See, that isn't something that is an action item that you have to wait for something to attract to you, but it's something you can write down that you can get started on, and it's an intention. Career and business. Do you desire growth? Do you desire changes? I have a team. I have processes in my business. I always want better, bigger. So what does that mean? What does it look like? Where would you want to be? When I was an employee, I actually thought about what kind of companies would I want to work for? Did I want to grow up in a corporate ladder, which I worked in the corporate world, or do I want to work for small businesses? I did that too. So what does that mean to you? Suzanne, who just came on, is a teacher. She's a phenomenal teacher. I think she's still Montessori. But what does that mean for your students? How are you going to, show up for them in 2018? Hobbies. I've always had a tough one with hobbies because I'm not a hobby person. But some people, they want to get hobbies, but they haven't decided or set the intention to do so. It includes like side projects, learning a new language. Susan, who's on here, has been doing hobbies with painting the plates, which look fantastic, girl. But maybe go even bigger with the painting. Learn, watch the Joy of Painting guy and really get those happy clouds, right? So you can get certifications. I have a friend who's a sommelier, and she had to set the intention and go for it. Do you want to learn or improve self-help, learn a new language? How about one for relaxation? A hobby that will bring you peace and joy, which is the experience. Travel. Okay, this is a confession. I always said I wanted to hit all 50 states by the time I'm 50. I'm going to be 46 in February, so I got 4 years. I've got a lot of states checked off, and I don't count them if I've driven through them. I have to stay at least one night. So I've really got to get busy, and travel is on my agenda. So I want to really meet that goal. Do you want to visit certain places? Do you want to take a road trip, go to other countries? Maybe go on spiritual retreats, which would be under spiritual or travel. The big one for me that I think people forget is in 2018, what is your intention for investing in you? Having that balance, work and home life. They say it exists. I believe it does. And I really want to experience it. And so that's something I am going for. I have been a workaholic all my life, and it's the easy thing for me to do. So, hi, Bob. So, is your investment in you in 2018 going to be a work, family, work, home life balance? I don't have a family per se, like little kids or, husband, but I need to get out and get friends and enjoy this life. We have this time to going around of this life, and what are you going to do to invest in yourself? Yay. So are you going to get out more, or are you going to stay in more? How about vacations? I've said it a couple times, and there's a whole photo album on Facebook, and I typed all the way through it. Earlier this year, I manifested a 30-day vacation in the Keys, in Key West specifically, and 1 block off Duval Street. It was the best ever. And it actually didn't just serve me. It ended up serving other people. And I didn't realize how much it was going to serve other people as well. It was fantastic. What kind of trip would you want to do? And I'm going to tell you, the reason I manifested the 30 days in Key West is, number one, I had no vacation time last year at all. Last year was one of the first years that I took actually holidays off. That's how much of a workaholic I've been. But when you own your own business, sometimes it's too easy to become that way. I was also reading Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Workweek. He decided to spend 4 weeks in Argentina. I'm like, not so much for Argentina for me, but where would I want to go? And I decided Key West. And so it actually came about, including the fact, because everyone says, oh, well, you can do it through your business, that or the other. I had a check for over $400 show up in the mail unexpectedly from a credit card I had in 2010 that had a class action lawsuit that I had no clue about. And that helped me make the final payment for the house that I rented in the Keys. So manifesting actually works. Checks do show up in the mail, but you really have to believe. If you have a struggle with belief, go join the manifesting group, which I think everyone's there expecting me to be there. Oops. But I have a video there on why you need to believe, how to believe, and how to, some exercises to help you shift in belief. Not just believing in manifesting, just believing, it is a major part of the process. So beginning the creation process. If I'm going too fast, you can tell me to slow down, but I know I have an hour and I have a lot to cover. So beginning the creation process. There's 2 rules to start out. Don't stay in your comfort zone and don't go too far beyond the level of faith that you can muster up. Now, the Bible says you just need a mustard seed. A mustard seed is this little tiny amount. And Susan being here, Lisa actually bought me a necklace with a mustard seed, so I know exactly how big it is. It's this really tiny thing. And that amount of faith, you can tell a tree to go jump in the lake and it'll go. And that is very true. But this is what I mean in examples for the 2 extremes. Parking spaces. If you watch The Secret, they kept talking about, I manifested, law of attraction can bring you parking spaces. So we can all manifest parking spaces. Parking spaces are great. I love princess parking. I've lost 30 pounds. I have 30 more to go. So I probably shouldn't have the princess parking up front if I want to burn some calories. But the 5-year-old lazy chick in me says, princess parking, right? Parking spaces are very easy to manifest, and they're great if you're trying to prove to your mind that manifesting works. But they don't bring to you the experiences, the growth, the increase, everything that you really want to make bigger and better in 2018. So it's great to manifest parking spaces, but is that really going to make 2018 rock? Right? So let's leave parking spaces off the intentions list. That's that extreme, the comfort zone. It's so easy to go, I'll just get a parking space. The other side, and I really took it to an extreme so no one can say that it's possible. It is possible, I'm sure. But if you write down that you want to become a billionaire overnight when you have a fear of success, then the chances of it happening is not. And the reason is, and that's why I made sure to add on fear of success, because I said, don't go too far beyond your current level of faith. We have 3 laws of manifestation. Law of creation that we're talking about now. Law of attraction, where you're magnetized and things start showing up. Law of allowing, when you let it go and you let life happen. And that is when the mind will start bringing up all those fears. We'll start going, well, this isn't working. This can't work. I had a fear of success. I couldn't make any more money because I kept self-sabotaging every time I would start bringing it in. That's what happens when you go over. So start with baby steps. Go, like I said, if you're making $26,000 a year, try to manifest or focus on manifesting, $10,000 more a year, $36,000, or $30,000. Something that's out of the comfort zone, but enough to prove to you that it really exists and it does work. And that way you're not self-sabotaging, but those things will come up, and that gives you an obstacle to shift them out, to sit and go, why do I believe this? Let's change some of these limiting beliefs, these negativities. Hey, Stacy. Wow, it's like my whole high school reunion here. but you want to go you want to go beyond the faith by stretching it and growing it. And when you go to work out, you don't just jump in. Well, maybe you do, and then you hate yourself the next day, but you don't jump in and run a 5K after you've been a couch potato up until that day. You have to start stretching it. And so with 2016, if you've never manifested and you're new to it, stretch it, grow it, take up that next step, and get excited about it. Are you excited about parking spaces? If you are, great, put them on the list, but probably not for saying 2018 rocks. Do you put in fear, or that ain't going to happen, for becoming a billionaire overnight? And you may not even want it. So you got to be careful to not go too low or too high. Go just outside that comfort zone that you know that you're going to go for it. All right? So the next thing to know is to be specific and consider thoughtfully. So, and it's funny, I'm in my main group because some of these people will know this person. Let me give you some examples. Relationships. When I was considering getting married in my late 20s, before I met my now ex-husband, I said I wanted someone with a sense of humor. That's all I said. I didn't think about what that meant for type of sense of humor, because I thought funny is funny, right? But unfortunately, my ex-husband's sense of humor was a type that made me uncomfortable. And my sense of humor is just telling funny stories. So when you say sense of humor, you really need to be specific. What does that mean to you? What does it look like to you? I want someone who can tell witty stories and lightheartedness, clean sense of humor, versus maybe sense of humor at someone else's expense. There's comedians out there of all different flavors, which that should have been clue number one for me right there, that sense of humor is different. Hi, Jane. So Jane, happy Hanukkah. If you want about a house, being specific and considerate. Do you want to rent or own? What city? What location? How many stories? Money, be specific. Hi, Debbie. How much in savings? I'm going to put this on YouTube and everyone's going to go, who are all these people? So how much money do you want in savings? Everyone thinks I want to make this much money when they think about money. But do you realize money and income and a feeling of success means way more than how much is just flowing in? Money can flow in from any way, but sometimes we need to manifest savings. I'm a spender. After my divorce, I was in a class and it was a Christian class. I can't think of the name of it right now. I'm sure if I said it, you would all know it. Where the guy in the front of the room says, God always puts spenders and savers together. The spender will help the saver to live a little and enjoy the money now, and the saver will help the spender to have some for later. So I said, I don't need to learn anything. I'm a spender. I just need to go find my saver. The problem is that was in 2003. It's now 2000 and almost 18, and I'm not in a relationship. So this spender needs to get savings. How much? What type of savings? 46 years old, we need to think about retirement. Personal. Do you want to have savings for vacation? Do you want to increase your income, which is the first one that everyone comes to? How much? How often? For employees, the thing to think about for being specific is gross versus net. Gross is such a perfect title for it. It is so gross how much it starts out to then get to net. So when you state how much money you want to make for income as an employee, is it gross or net? And as business owners, is it revenue or income? Another way to say it is revenue or profit if it's just for the business alone. If you're the business owner, what is your income? So be specific. Okay, so now we've talked about being specific, not going too small, not going so far out that you're going to sabotage. What are some examples of how to break it down? So I call it the chunking method. And chunking method, the term actually comes from a strategy for memorization. Didn't work for me. I have a form of dyslexia where I tried remembering people's names and it just doesn't work. I will remember every other detail about you except for your name. So you'll have to forgive me if I don't know your name. But I tried to learn this chunking method. But what I actually got from it was a better way of dealing with manifesting and law of attraction and creation in my life. So what does that mean? Well, in 2004, I bought a house. And before I bought the house, I sat and created a list of what I call the list of three chunks. So I broke down, first chunk was I absolutely have to have it or the house is off the list. The second list was I would like this. This would be great, but it's not an absolute must-have. And then the third chunk was it would be nice. So the bullet point list was, you know, do you need a garage? How many stories? Here in Florida, we have HOAs. So do you want single family home or HOA? Common areas, patios, connected units. So breaking that list down is important, and it's a good next step. For chunking for jobs in the past, I've broke them down in 3 chunks as well. And I don't know why it's always 3, but it's always 3. Odd numbers just seem to stick with me. So for jobs, I broke down 3 chunks. The first one was the benefits. Now, the first benefit, of course, we always think of is salary, but there's other benefits. What time off do you get for vacation and sick pay? Do you get a company car? Do you go and travel? For me, it was a great benefit when I worked at Sportsline. I would, you know, go and do trade show marketing, which is a high for me. But that was under a different list, but there was travel, and travel was a benefit to me. So what are the list of benefits that you're seeking in a job? Chunk it together under all benefits. The next chunk of information was what type of tasks would you be doing? You know, what kind of work do you prefer to do? Indoors, outdoors? I'm a computer geek. I have this huge screen on this side that you can't see and the one in front of me. I live by computers. 5 in the morning, I can't sleep. I'm on my phone because now that's just a small computer. But I didn't just want to be at a computer. I am very task-oriented, but I want growth and creativity alongside of delegation, which is why I love owning a business. I love building my team. I love working with a team. I love empowering my team. And the tasks that I focus on is marketing and sales and project management for development projects. Those are tasks. So what is the kind, if you're looking for a new job or improved job, that you want? The third chunk was the environment. And this is the one part that most people forget when they're job hunting. If you are working for someone else and you've got to work with other people that you don't get to choose that is already there, this is important. At least it was to me. You know, I worked in cubicles and I'm still friends with all my cubicle buddies. So what kind of people and environment do you want to be in? You know, I have a neighbor who said, you know, she doesn't like the job she was in at one point because she was doing internet stuff and she's doing everything I love. Why doesn't she love it? Well, you can't talk to other people while you do that work. I sit in an office with other people, but my door closes and it's just me. And I love it. I can sit just me for hours because I'm creating on the internet. But maybe that doesn't work for you. Maybe you're like my friend where you want to have companionship and friendships and conversations at the job. So put that down in your manifestation and your intention list to make 2018 rock. The kind of people, are they chatty? Are they fun? Do they, you know, go out after hours? Or are you a family person that says, you know what, I don't have time for that stuff. I need a work environment where I show up at this time and I leave at this time. I enjoy the people I work with, but I don't need to connect outside. I need to get home and, you know, take care of my family. So that's chunking. And I'm actually going to go in more on the list building in the video that I'm going to upload to our Facebook manifestation group tomorrow. And if you're here, I didn't mean to put it on my personal page. So hey to everybody, if you're still here, This video will be in the manifestation group. We have other videos that'll go up tomorrow in there. Just go and find Live Joy Today manifestation and ask to join. So after you start your list, then you're going to break it down and go deeper. And it's kind of crazy because people say, well, that bullet point list should be it. But you really got to decide, what does it look like for you and what does it mean for you? I kind of touched on it when I mentioned sense of humor. But for me, the biggie was relationships. You know, my parents were divorced when I was 2 years old. I didn't see what a relationship looked like. The parents that I saw growing up didn't ever get remarried. Had a couple of relationships here and there, but it was mostly I was raised by my mom and my grandmother, and that's not a marriage relationship, obviously. And you don't think about it until you go to get in a relationship that you have no clue what the heck this thing's about, you know, what's it for? So I didn't have a model, so I had to stop and decide when I was creating my list for 2018, what does that actually look like for me? Hey, James. Hey, Melissa. Actually just reconnected with Melissa. We didn't know we were disconnected. So what does a relationship look like for you? And if you're in a relationship and you're saying in 2018, I want this relationship to be rocking, I want it to be amazing, I want it to be awesome, what the heck does that look like? You know, James, who just got on, he just got out of the military. Congratulations. I think you just retired from the Navy, which both my parents were. So what does that look like for him in the civilian world, right? He has to decide. And you really have to go deeper into what your intentions are for 2018. Yes, Hanukkah is ending. Yes, Christmas is around the corner. Elizabeth, I've got all these gifts to get. I've got to get the food together. I've got to go buy gifts, get these cards out. We should have the cards out by now, but get your cards out. That's okay. This video will be posted on YouTube, and it'll be posted in our manifestation group. Come back to it. Go to the homework video that'll be listed tomorrow that'll actually break this method down, and do it when you feel at peace. Don't do it while you're rushed. But you do want to break down, what does it look like? Is your relationship going to be more romantic? Is it going to be better companionship? Are you going to, start a business together? Really think twice about it if you're in a marriage on starting a business together. I've seen it work, and I've seen it be entertaining for the webmaster who's building their website. So just using relationships as an example, but ultimately, no matter what is on your list, I want you to sit and ponder, what does it really mean to you that you desire? And then, of course, we always want to use the words or better. I would like to have $60,000 a month income or better. And actually, we won't say I would like. We say I have it. I'm bringing it in, $60,000 a month income or better, because it keeps your options open for more. And more is always better, right? Isn't that what the commercial says? So down the road, actually, next week, I am going to be teaching on visualization. And hopefully I'll get it right and get in the group, even though I have a lot more. You don't think you can work with your spouse, James? That's okay. It can make the marriage life better if you don't work together. Hi, Stacy. Oh, thanks. That's okay. The video will be up later. So visualization is actually a tool for taking the list beyond. But I want to talk tonight about visualizing in creating the list. So a good example is I'm redoing my master bedroom at my house. I still had things from my 20s that I bought just because I could afford it. I'm in my 40s. I can afford a little bit more, and I have style now. It's crazy. Actually, Stacy and James, I lived with you guys know I had no style back then. So anyway, so I didn't just jump in and go to the store and start buying anything. I actually sat and looked around my room and started visualizing what changes I want to make. So if you stop and think about the areas of your life that you want to be, rocking in 2018, start visualizing what it looks like. And as you visualize, write it down. Write down every specific thing that you can about it. Write down, what does it look like, with you and your wife. I saw James pop up, so we'll use wife, in this new coming year. And write it down. What does that mean to you? And when I did it from my bedroom on just manifesting, a new room, I actually had this one last piece where I was visualizing a shelf. I wanted the shelf area changed out really badly. And so I started just visualizing it, and I wrote it down, and I let it go. I had gone to this one Target before with my dad. We couldn't find shelves anywhere. But after I wrote it down and visualized it, this last weekend when we were at the exact same Target, we went up and down every freaking aisle when we first went. I drove him nuts with it. And we saw no wall shelves. Yet this last weekend, we're just there for another reason, and I just wander down this side and poof, there's my shelf, right? Wayfair, I looked on there. They didn't have any that I liked. I'm very particular. I wanted contemporary, romantic. But I found it without hesitation, intuitively down the aisle, and poof, there it was. Unfortunately, my dad then goes, I have work now to hang the shelf. So visualizing each area of your life, write down those details. Let's talk about something. It sounds funny to say it's controversial, but in the law of attraction teaching, people will say you have to set deadlines. Other people say don't ever set a deadline. And I'm going to tell you they're both right and they're both wrong. Open time can be controversial because some people need that finite moment. Some intentions need a finite moment. When I was intending to get a shelf, I didn't say buy this weekend. I just said I wanted the shelf. I just happened to get it this last weekend. So for me, it depends on how open I am to receiving it now. The other thing is, do I know I'm going to have some work? Because I'm not trying to manifest a relationship in a month when I need to change some magnets so I let the right relationship show up. I know that I'm going to get my income, let me change my words, my income is showing up, the increase. But I know that I'm not going to set it for a month from now. I'm going to set it, I set it actually in October for a year from October. And during this time, I'm working on the magnets of what's showing up in the law of attraction part of law of manifestation to shift out any limiting beliefs, to focus on what areas do I, enjoy, where do I want to go, how, I'm not focused on how it's coming in, but how do I want to open myself up to believing that I can receive, if that makes sense. You have to be open to receiving. So I have set a year deadline on some of my intentions, but I have some short days, months, and weeks deadlines. So like the manifesting for the bedroom, which is now almost complete. The last item's in the mail. Hi, Kim. Look, it is a class reunion. So instead of putting a deadline on the bedroom, I just put it out there that that's what I wanted. I didn't get hyper focused on it. But if you remember manifestation, you still use the deadlines for bigger items. So example there. I did a prayer video, which I didn't go in and explain afterwards because my day got busy, and I probably should have. Monday, it started with a dream, went into my journaling. I have been saying all year, I can't wait for 2017 to be over. A lot of people have been in alignment with me on that, and I've been so frustrated. There's only one part of 2017 that I still haven't really connected to shift, but that's going to take a while because it deals with the death. But I realized every bad thing that happened that I put that judgment on, that this is bad, this sucks, everything that happened actually was for my benefit. And in my dream and in my journaling, it just all came to me on Monday. And even just like something that I just want, the worst of worst things, it turned out to be the best of best things. And I did a video in the manifesting group on, why you don't judge things and why things just are. They're neither good nor bad. And that really came to fruition with me on Monday. because I have been stuck in my mindset all year long where my intentions and my focus wasn't on manifesting and attracting like they normally are, I realized I need to get back into it. I need to shift it, and I need to get full force on it, right? So a week ago, I set an intention of $6,000 in my bank account by that Friday deadline, right? So I had it by the following Tuesday, so this Tuesday. Am I going to cry over not having it on Friday, but having to wait till Tuesday and go, this doesn't work? No, I got it. It works. And what it really did, it wasn't about the money. It was about me setting that intention and remembering that I can do this. You know, through Christ, I can do all things. All things are possible through God. Infinite source of possibilities is still connected. And my mind needed to get on board. And that's why I did it. So specific deadlines, you don't want to get hung up on the deadline, because then you're focused the whole time. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. And, you know, it's funny because I actually started doing that. I have something coming up on Thursday where I have to have a certain amount of income for it, or a payment for it. And I was like, I made it. I know it. It's going to happen. God's got my back. And I didn't realize it, but my mind, because I was focused on work, and then in little breaks of work, my mind kept going, wait, I haven't had any income yet. I haven't had any income yet. Okay. It's only Tuesday, by the way. So get straight on that. But you want to talk about the most amazing thing. I have on my wall that you cannot see a picture that I created. The top of it has the Hebrew letters for Yahweh. And if you're Jewish, you know that that's the holiest of holy names, and you can't put it in print. And I'll come into play in a minute. But I have that first. Off to the side, I have the Hebrew words, Yehovah Yireh, the Lord is my provider. And then underneath that is the character of Chinese character for the number 8, which is a symbol of prosperity or good luck. And I created this collage of these symbols to remind me. I created it back in 2010 maybe, and I forget that it's there sometimes because it's so automatic, and it gets blended into my memory or my sight. And the reason it is because it says to me, hi Patty, it says to me that the holiest of God, not some little thing over here, the holiest of God, who is my provider, is over my prosperity. I'm not in charge. You know, God, infinite source, universe, whatever name you want. God, the holiest of God, is over my prosperity. So why do I tell you this? Well, it wasn't until before I did this video and started this that I realized what was going on today. We had a surprise inspection here in our office, and I noticed one of the guys was wearing a yarmulke. Well, when he walked in my office, he noticed the Yahweh. Obviously, it's big. They're black on white, you know, so it's very bold and obvious. And he looked at it and he goes, aha. Well, I know in the Jewish faith that, number one, printing the name of the holiest of name, which they don't say. They say Hashem. And Hashem means the name. And when they write out God, it's G-D, because it's so holy to them. And I am not Jewish, but I recognize this. And knowing he was Jewish, I let him know that I know I will not burn it. I will not throw it away. And that if the time comes that it needs to be disposed of, if you will, I have to bury it. And he was like, you get it, you know? And I felt so proud of myself that I remembered, and I had someone to share it with. And but I didn't think anything of it when he left. And then I subleased 2 office spaces from my friend Maxine, who's an accountant. And she has the office next to me, the front office, and 2 other offices, and then we share a break room. And she had some clients come in that spent hours with her in there, and I wasn't paying attention. My door's open, and people see the big screen behind me, the blanket. Actually, it's a king-size sheet. And the lady came out, and she was Chinese, and she says to me, she goes, that's the Chinese character for number 8. How do you have that? How do you know that? And then I re-explained to her what the sign meant. And I thought about it later. I'm like, you know, I don't see that sign. And I realized this is God telling me, I've got your back. I'm the one in charge here. Don't stress over it. Don't worry about it. Don't be thinking about no deadlines. Just let it go. And that is part of the law of creation. And actually, it's the law of allowing, is letting go. But when it comes to deadlines, don't get stuck on them. Don't get so hyper-focused on them. If you need one and it's something that you're saying that it's going to put you in action, then get a deadline in there. And so the revenue that I had wanted, it wasn't, you know, I didn't put revenue versus income. It turned out to be revenue, so there was cost that came out of it. No big deal. It really focused on bringing me back to remembering or re-remembering how to manifest, and that I have it in me. And that is just kind of a reminder that manifesting is just like any other muscle in our body. You know, Melissa and I were talking in private message earlier about working out and our bodies, and I haven't worked out in a while, and I know when I go back it's gonna hurt because you got to keep those muscles working out. Well, you have to keep manifesting muscles working out as well. That positive energy is fantastic for you. Okay, the next one that is a biggie is to tell or not to tell. It's not a question though. The answer is yes, you tell or not to tell. So there's rules. There's rules for everything. You do tell if telling someone else empowers you to do so. Telling what you're manifesting. You know, I'm going to write a book on whatever by this date, and I'm telling everybody, right? I'm not, but that's just an example. So if it's empowering, you tell people who are going to be your cheerleaders, and that's having your own tribe. And in the techniques and strategies video, I actually talk about having a tribe. So watch for it to be posted in the group. But not this group, but the group that this video was supposed to be posted in is sort of a tribe where we all get together and talk about doing better in life and manifesting. We are doing a collective consciousness for our 2018 intentions, okay? But I want you to look at a tribe of people that you can say, hey, I want to make 2018 rock. I'm not going to let it slide by. I'm not going to be passive about it. I'm going to be aggressive about it. I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to make it rockin'. I know as I set these intentions, some things are going to come up. Will you join my tribe? If you're doing weight loss as your tribe, I highly recommend getting someone who is a workout person. Your tribe can be paid or friends. It doesn't matter. Get someone there who knows diet. Get a workout buddy. But your tribe is very important. It takes a community, you know, to raise a child. And I always say I need the tribe to raise this child. So you want to really look at, you know, talking to other people, having that tribe are trusted people. The other reason you would tell people is if it's socially acceptable desire, where it's easy to cheer you on without hesitation, because you're going to bump into other people's limiting beliefs. And I want sometimes for you to protect your intentions so they come about. So, good example. During the recession, I owned the same business. I've owned this business since 2001, and things got tough. And I said, I wanted, at one time I wanted to manifest 10K in 30 days. And again, it's during the recession. And I told everybody, I posted it everywhere. I created, you know, found things to sell from my home. I didn't care what it was. I went down and said, there is no need for pride here. I am humble because I'm getting it. 10K in 30 days. And you expect during the recession that you want to go after something like that everybody's going to say, yes, you can do it. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to believe with you. But no, they didn't. No, instead I heard there's no shame in bankruptcy. How dare you believe you can do so much in such a short amount of time? Really? God can bring money. It's just paper. You know, someone else said it's not possible. And the worst thing that happened was someone else coming and sharing their problems too. Because what happens? You go into a pity party, and pity parties brings nothing about except for more pity parties. So I didn't care. I was gung-ho. I was gonna make it happen. And I needed to surpass their beliefs and not attach them to myself. Now, the question you might be asking is, did you do it? Yes. I did. I had the 10K in 30 days. I actually came up $700 short, and I'm like, hey, what's going on here? Where's that extra 700 bucks? My laptop got hacked really badly, and instead of taking the time to clean it, I was in the middle of a major project. That was the computer I called my baby. I shipped it to my mom, and that $700 went towards my new laptop. So I did, in fact, go 10K in 30 days. And it came from various sources. It was not just through my business. It came from every possible thing that you could think of. So you don't worry about the why. And the other reason that you would want to tell is if you have a manifesting partner. You know, there's a lot of people that's been coming in and out on this video because I know it's long. It's an hour-long webinar that I do every Tuesday. And it's a lot of me talking. And I haven't had a lot of sleep, so I'm mustering up all my energy for you. But I've had manifesting partners. That's how I did the Key West trip. Actually, my mom was my manifesting partner. And what we did was I had a law of attraction strategy that I wanted to do. And I posted on Facebook, hey, who wants to manifest with me, you know, for the next week? You have to be available for the next 5 days. And I was very surprised that my mom said, yes, I'll do it with you. So on that manifesting strategy, she focused on her intention and I focused on mine. Well, I have to share with her because she's my manifesting partner. And my manifestation was 30 days in Key West. I will be going there and I will only work up to 4 hours a day. Now, my team is all over the US and all over the world. So that's why it's just me in this office. I've got team members in Philadelphia and California, all over the US and Philippines and India. Yes, in India. I love my guys there. But a manifesting partner, obviously, you need to tell. So you need to make sure if you get a manifesting partner, which I highly recommend. I had a lot of fun. We had a blast. And having fun and having a blast brings you to joy energy. And you notice everything I have is joy. Live joy today. Joyful living store. And the reason is in the chart of energy vibration, joy is one step higher than love. So you think love's going to be higher. Nope. Love and joy together is rocking, but love is one step below joy. Joy energy is your creative energy. You want to raise your vibration to joy energy? Go watch something that makes you laugh. You know, go hang out with your kids on a good day. Go hang out and go to a comedy club. And when you're in that mode, you will be amazed at what you will attract fast and easy than you are when you're in low energy. Gratitude is even higher. So those are the reasons you would tell what your intentions are. Now, there's some reasons that you're either not going to tell or you're going to be selectively sharing. And that is if it empowers you not to tell. You don't go to the don't tell if you're fearful, because fear is low energy and it'll sabotage you every time. So it's just basically saying, you know what, you and me, we got this, just us. And it's like your own little secret. You become like that child who bought the gift for their parents that you can't wait for it to show up so that the world can see it. So there's a joy in not sharing sometimes your intentions. And if you have a feeling that you want to protect your desires, again, not due to fear, but because it's precious to you, then you don't want to tell, or you only want to selectively tell whomever you know will also protect it. And find it precious. I actually have a current intention that I'm very protective of, and I have very selectively shared. I like count on my hands how many people I've shared it with, and I'm excited for it. With negative people, obviously, you don't want to share your intentions with naysayers or folks who play the devil's advocate. Publicly, here on Facebook, you know, I have a Facebook group, again, where this is supposed to be at. But I have it as a closed group because when people are writing their intentions, it should stay within there. How many times do you post something that you think is so harmless and innocent, you think is funny, on Facebook, and then you come back to this really long thread and people are having arguments and bickering and low energy, anger. I mean, Facebook's become a good boxing ring sometimes. Verbal boxing ring is what I call it. So you don't want to publicly share something that's very personal for you, where people are hiding behind the computer and just sharing their opinions without even thinking how you might receive it. So those are the reasons you're going to share or not share. But there's no wrong answer in the regards of you decide. I don't think that there's rules of do or don't. I think it all is unique to each specific intention. Very importantly, and actually I'll be wrapping up here soon, is write it down. Write it down in short, present moments with emotions that are related to obtaining it, like gratitude, elated, excited, thrilled. Not surprised, shocked, because that's saying that you don't think it's going to happen. Oh, I'm so surprised that it actually happened. I'm shocked. It really worked. You know, that's saying, nope, not right now. I'm not ready for it. So, but gratitude, elation. I am so excited that the $60,000 showed up in my bank account this month. I cannot wait to go put it in savings and spend and whatever. But write it down, and it's like putting it in stone is the way they used to say it, but putting it in paper with emotions just really drives it home. So I want to end, actually start talking here on some warnings. And it's funny because it's almost 9 o'clock here. Our hour is almost up in Florida. And the first warning is don't do this near bedtime. I actually wrote these scripts for all 3 videos Sunday night, and I didn't put them down until literally right before I went to bed. When you start in the law of creation and the law of allowing, it is better than caffeine. That sucker will energize you and sleep will not happen. So you might want to consider not doing this before bed. It feels fabulous to be this energized unless you want to sleep. I have not slept the last 2 days because I have done what I'm telling you not to do. So I'm living as your example. Don't do what I do, do what I say. Don't write your intentions or focus on them or creation of them, because your mind will just start going and the energy that happens won't allow you to sleep. Don't make intentions about other people. And I know there's going to be people that are going to say, what? What do you mean don't make intentions about other people? Aren't we here to help other people? And it's like, well, yeah, you can, but this is about you. Because what you're going to notice is I'm not including on this list of acts of charity, missionary work, unless it's work that, you know, tasks that you want to do or the type of work that you want to do. It's great. It's wonderful. I'm not against it. You can increase your income, and from your abundance, you can give, right? There's very good reasons why you don't. This isn't about other people. This is about you and 2018. With relationships, it's still about you in that relationship. And I know that there are people that teach the law of attraction that says it only works when it's for other people. But that's their limiting beliefs. We are a collective energy. We're all connected. And so when we do for ourselves, it affects other people. Other people are going to watch you in 2018 if you tell them you're starting to manifest. And they're going to watch you to see if it works. They're going to pay attention to what you're doing. Just like if you tell them you're starting a diet or something, people will start paying attention. And then when you lose weight, they go, how did you do it? You didn't watch me. I was working out. I was eating, you know. So people will watch you. Having other people as your intentions will actually work against your desires and possibly them. During the recession several years ago, when money was beyond tight, I had a very close relative on my vision board. And my vision for that was to give to that person financially, to buy that person a house, and, you know, to have that feeling of giving, right? You think that's lovely, that's wonderful. You're manifesting that. The problem is out of the blue, she started having odd things happen that cost above her budget. And I would get calls saying I needed money at a time I didn't have money. What? So I'm like, you're coming off my vision board. I can't afford you. And when she asked me what I was talking about, I told her, and she's like, you know, I was wondering why these things were coming up. Yes, take me off. I don't want you taking care of me. So don't put other people in your intentions. You know, have that as the afterglow. There's nothing wrong with giving. There's nothing wrong with loving other people. But your intentions are about you growing, you're experiencing, you're increasing, you are taking your life to another level. And others will come alongside you, but they can't be part of your vision. Wallace Wattles teaches not to focus on charities. He says you'll be an example to them and then the teacher to those who relate their needs to what you have accomplished. You can give out of your abundance, but not in your intentions. And I've said this kind of a couple times, but you want white hot intention. You know, they talk about white hot fire as the hottest fire, right? So whatever your intention is that you want to create, make it and be so white hot on fire to make it happen the moment you solidify that list. So that everyone that I have spoken to, I have had a strong stance. I have a strong voice tone, and I'm very direct in my speak. You know, in what I tell them. I am determined that I am insert intention will happen in 2018, and I am all in. It's going to happen no matter what. I am making this sucker happen, and I have not stopped since October when I made this list. I speak with strength, with confidence. I have strong voice tone. I feel it in the depths of my soul and my spirit, and that's exactly what I did when I did the 10K in 30 days, and when I have manifested other things. So the goal is for you to create your own list. And I know people have come and gone through this. Tomorrow I am uploading a video to our manifestation group. Join the group because it's going to help you create that list. It's the take and see action video. And then after that, we're going to cover on Thursday's video the techniques and strategies. But those are not live videos. Those are recorded videos. You can watch at your leisure. This video is going to get uploaded to the manifesting group where it was supposed to have been Facebook Live and didn't make it. I somehow ended up on my own public page. But anyway, so if you're here and still watching, go and join our manifestation group and you can watch other videos. I know Tuesday nights is a little long. It's a 1-hour lesson. I want to thank you all for sticking it out. I want you to get excited, to get white hot on fire for making 2018 a rocking year, right? Alrighty, everybody, you have a great night. Mwah, thank you for sticking it out, and let's just make it happen. Bye.